Welcome back to a transfer market update on FC Barcelona Central with some major development both in the incoming and the outgoing front. I am your host Pedro and we are witnessing an amazing period for our club. Now in today's video I want to start with the hottest topic out, and it is that of Nico Williams. FC Barcelona have decided to bring him in, but there is a kicker. They won't expect to execute their payment for his release clause until July. This is a highly strategic operation driven by accounting reasons. FC Barcelona wants to wait for the charge of the almost 62 million euros on release clause on the 2025-2026 economic year, which officially begins on July 1st. And the club's intention is to pay this money on July 1st and July 2nd. For context, Joan Garcia was brought up to the team on the 2024-2025 economic year. So they're doing something very smart here, very strategical. Despite of the formal way, Barca is aimed to finalize all loose ends of the signing before the international player has to report to the Athletic Club preseason. The Bilbao squad is set to start training for the preseason on the second week of July. And the goal of Can Barca is for have Nico be under Hansi Flick's command at the very start of our preseason, which is slated to be on July 13. Now, Nico, having played the Nation Leagues with Spain, will naturally rejoin a bit later since he will be with his national team of Spain. To facilitate this, Nico's entourage is actively mediating with Athletic to work on an agreement for staggering payments for his clause, rather than the usual big chunk of money. This will be a big win for Barcelona cash flow, and is what remembered the last summer Nico definitely rejected a ton of offers, including one from our own team FC Barcelona, choosing to stay in Bilbao to fight for the Europa League final, which it was held on San Mamés. That was a big gesture to the club, and now they want to see if they can get that return back. Well, the proposal from Barcelona is definitely appeals Nico, given the current relationship between Athletic Club and Barcelona. A staggered payment agreement does not seem to be very achievable. However, the Catalan club is prepared to pay for the clause in full in the beginning of the next month. In the meantime, they are working hard to free up salary mass to make it easier to register the players. A few journalists like Edu Velasco stated that Athletic is now aware of Nico's decision to play for Barcelona next season, and has already been communicated. And now the clubs know that, and Athletic will not put any obstacles on Nico's way. However, they say that the Rojiblancos will try to convince the winger until the very end. Athletic Club deserves the right to convince the player, but the decision is made already, it seems like. So it now depends on how long Barcelona it takes them to come up with the money. Another journalist, Nico Rodriguez, went even further, anticipating that the player has already prepared a farewell video to communicate this to this team. The Barca plan continues to be exactly as intended after Deco's recent meeting with the player's agent, and he took the next step to inform the Athletic Club of his desire and Barca's intention to pay the release clause. Now, the ball is on President Joan Laporta's side, and it's only a simple matter of timing, really. Barca will pay the release clause, and Nico Williams ultimately will be a Barcelona player. Following the arrival of Joan Garcia, the left-wing position was Deco's top priority. Despite not being the first candidate from the start, the Athletic Club player was always on Barca's radar. Now, Nico Williams' arrival seems to be a blessing for Hansi Flick, which we know this has already his approval, adding a high-level player and in a very powerful offense. Now, since, like we mentioned in the last video, we need some departures for some players to come in, and we talked about Ansu Fati. After weeks of back and forth and speculations regarding his move to Monaco, FC Barcelona is finally on the verge of closing a loan with an option to buy Ansu Fati from Monaco in the future in case he becomes really good. In fact, yesterday was the day that Ansu Fati was scheduled to travel to Monaco for his new medical physical with his team. However, some minor details again in the documentation has prevented him to traveling to Monaco yesterday. And now the report is that Ansu Fati will sign a renewal until 2028 with Barcelona before he goes out on loan. In these final hours, both clubs are exchanging the last documents, the last information, and once this process is completed, Ansu will officially be a Monaco player, following what happened with Paul Pogba, which they're going to have a pretty good team for the UEFA Champions League. Ansu Fati is actually returning right now from Uruguay, where he attended a wedding of one of his teammates and close friends, Ronald Araujo. The player has already informed many of his teammates and close friends that he will be joining Monaco, so the official announcement is just a matter of days. Before that, of course, he'll have to undergo his medical examinations. And after weeks of speculations and contract reviews, Fati will play on loan for Monaco. This move is crucial for both Ansu Fati to get consistent minutes and for Barca to free up some salary mass. That is not the only outgoing news that I have for you today. I do want to switch gears on how Celta has reinforced their squad with the incorporation of Ferran Jutgla, the former Barca forward returns to La Liga after 3 seasons in Belgium. The deal was finalized yesterday and both clubs made it official today without specifying the transfer amount. However, a familiar source to the operation has said that it costs around 5.5 million, meaning that Barcelona will take around 50,000 euros from the money that was accounted on from some sell-on clause. Barca is waiting to confirm this figure to officially account for their shares. Barcelona have this type of contract when they sell someone and they keep a sell-on clause. Maybe it's usually 10% when they sell someone else. Celta de Vigo has been a team who's been paying us some good money for this player. So now they have Jutgla, which it was, let's say, 50,000. They also paid us 600,000 from a purchase of Ilaix Moriba from RB Leipzig. And they have the rights to Oscar Mingueza, another defensive player from Barcelona, which that will be, if it kicks in, that's the sell-on clause, will be 650,000. Jutgla, who came through the ranks from the Espanyol Youth Academy and FC Barcelona Youth Academy, made his elite debut with Barcelona in the 2021-2022 season for the first team. After several good performances with Barca, the Catalan forward signed with the Club Brugge in Belgium, where he played the decisive role for the last 2 league championships for them. So guys, there's so much activity here, so much strategic delays for Nico Williams, strategic planning, an imminent loan for Ansu Fati, and another smart piece of business on Ferran Jutgla, and all these signings that we have coming in, and not just signings, but like sell-on clauses that we have all over. It is clear that the club is pulling all stops, aiming for what it could be truly one of the best transfer markets in FC Barcelona recent years. What do you make of the club financial strategy with Nico? What about Ansu Fati's loan? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of all breaking news and analysis from FC Barcelona, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. And if you want to get in contact with me, hit me up on Instagram under my childhood nickname, Orrutio. Until next time, and Visca Barça.